You ever noticed how every big franchise has gone through the same tasteless change? How every McDonald's went from a colorful playhouse to a bland money printing machine? Or how hotels went from offering gifts and deals that make you stay longer to squeezing every single penny out of you just for a single night or two? Or how about planes no longer offering you meals on flights? Gaming went through a very similar trend, it just looks a bit different. There are still shooters and RPGs, and whatever you'd consider the Battle for Bikini Bottom like games. I mean, like seriously, while doing research for this game, I was kind of curious, and I found out it's kind of like a platformer, puzzler, meets like a little combat style. I'm not really sure what kind of game it is, but it looks super weird. I mean, look, SpongeBob falls out of his own ear, a roboplankton fights him, I don't know. Alright, let's get back to it. Growing up as a kid in the 2000s, I was playing games that are now considered legends. We had games such as Halo, Gears of War, Call of Duty, Uncharted, God of War, Borderlands, Ratchet & Clank, Pokemon, Nintendogs. We even something as magical as Battle for Bikini Bottom. Wait. How'd this get in my script? Who stuck this in? Ricardo, did you sneak this in there? How'd you even know I was making a video? What made a lot of these games special is pretty simple in my eyes. It was a strong commitment to a dream. There were things like bold art styles, strong narratives, big risks, but I think what made them most important to us is that they took themselves seriously. They were games that believed in their own vision and who they were. Go back to any game before September 20th, 2011, and you'd be damned to find a game that wasn't self-contained to its own universe. The only games I can think of that weren't platform battlers like Super Smash Bros. Brawl or Nickelodeon Jingle Jam. Games that were their whole appeal was smashing up their own universes. Mario fighting Link, Link fighting Pikachu, Danny Phantom fighting SpongeBob, SpongeBob beating Timmy Turner's butt. Like, there's so many crazy things here. Now, you might be asking yourself, why did he call out September 20th, 2011? And no, it's not because the United States repealed the Don't Ask, Don't Tell policy, allowing gay and lesbian individuals to serve openly in the military. You nerd. That's the first day I realized the shift in gaming. A little small game called Gears of War 3 promised a whole lot of skins, maps, and playable characters if you bought its season pass, offering you more quote-unquote free content over the course of a year or more. Now let me get a little bit off script right now and talk about the thing that's on screen. While doing research for this project, I was looking back through my nostalgia, and I saw that people were actually writing articles about how much they hated the season pass progress. People didn't know if they wanted this, people didn't know if they were willing to spend money on useless skins or character customization. So this has not only been a problem now, it's been a problem since the moment it came out, and that's just crazy to me. For the uninitiated in the crowd, there weren't such things such as battle passes. A battle pass is also commonly known as a season pass. For the even more uninitiated, this is a pass you pay for with real money on top of the base $60 game to unlock more content inside of said game. This comes with things such as maps, character skins, or just general extra content. Back in the day, it just came with the game, or at the very most it was included something in DLC, and for those of you who are extra uninitiated, that stands for downloadable content. Catch up. I also don't know where else to put this in the video, but can we just talk about the fact that it's kind of crazy that we have all agreed upon we are spending more money per game now than ever? We get less for a game and we get less for content, but we're being charged more. What's going on there? If I can be so bold, the beginning of downfall of video games came at the same time as I believe the beginning of downfall of contemporary society began. Bold claim. I know, but I think you'll agree with me after what I have to say. And if you don't, that's okay. I just really want you to participate in this conversation, what's going on down below in the comments, because this is something that's been rattling my mind. Please, talk with me. I kind of want to know what people have to say about this too. For those of you too young, you may have heard of the 2008 recession, a really hard economic time in recent history where thousands of people lost everything and millions of people had a harder time paying the bills. And that's just a simple version of that for this kind of video. As a result of the 2008 recession, dreams no longer paid the bills. The United States was at war while people back at home were drowning in debt. Times were tough and society was having a hard time coping. And don't believe me? Look at something called recession pop, a specific sound and style that music artists drifted towards that made people feel better. Music and art transformed to mimic the pains and suffering of its time. And I hope that as it gets made clear here today in this video, hard times create the best art, trust. Alright, sorry. Where was I? Tasteless, nerd, uninitiated. Here we go. Right, squeezing people for all their money. What video game companies discovered was that people kind of wanted to escape reality and turn things like video games and the internet to have a second life. Not a sponsor. People were willing to spend their hard-earned money to get a dopamine hit from their hobbies and pleasures. If you were a kid at this time, you probably remember the hard time of asking your parents to buy you a DLC or any extra content at all. It just made no sense to them. In reality, they make much sense to us either. And here comes the subscription services. While on consoles, you just bought a disc and you had everything. Over on PCs, gaming companies were mastering the art of subscriptions. While they could blindly take your money out of your account until you remember to cancel it. We had things like Wizards 101, Fusion Fall, Club Penguin, World of Warcraft, Pirates of the Caribbean Online. Oh my god, Pirates of the Caribbean Online. This is one of the best games you probably don't even know of, and I can make a whole video about it. So, go inform yourself. Companies found a way to secretly take your money. That $60 one-time purchase for a full disc game now turned into $120 a year because it's only $10 a month, minimum. Wow. While writing this, I kind of started working out the math about everything I pay for. Things like Xbox Game Pass and PSN, Netflix and Disney. Wow, holy cow. Wait a second, holy cow. Wait, how much am I paying? Wait, babe, get in here. I have a crazy revelation about how much we could save money if we just use one account. So what are you seeing? While this is happening, it's not just happening in the video game world, but it's kind of happening everywhere. Things are no longer about the integrity of the original vision, but they're kind of about maximizing the money machine. And you don't believe me? Tell it to the masters of economics on the wall I'm staring at right now. It may be my brothers, but it means I'm qualified to talk on the subject. Now, I don't think I need to explain it to you, but just look at everything around us. There are dozens of streaming sites. You can pay for extra fast roads on the LA freeway. Insurance is essentially a subscription service, and everything around us is designed to suck us dry of every penny that we have. Even damn Warhammer has a streaming service. Why do they need a streaming service if they already are one of the biggest and most profitable toy companies known to man? Hell, even in history, and don't even get me started on Magic. So why is this one called Gaming's Rejuvenation, Pojeki, if all you're telling me is how much it sucks now? Well, my young Sun Blossom, it's because the tides are kind of turning, but not just in gaming, everywhere. The question's why? You see, all that stuff they did where they stole every single penny from us kind of created a blossoming economy, but not for you and me, but for the rich, while the rest of us are out here struggling to survive. What does that mean? We can't afford to keep up anymore. We can't afford to have 5 to 10 subscriptions or to buy the battle passes of every single game just to look like Rick and Morty in every possible place. And games are simplifying back to their roots. They're coming back to the basic needs of people. They are sticking to their dreams and visions, and the community is kind of rooting for it. There is absolutely no surprise that the games doing commercial success right now are games that are sticking to the guns. Space Marine, Helldivers, Battlefield, Hades, Cyberpunk, Baldur's Gate, God of War, Valorant, Fall Guys, Borderlands. There are also games that were doing incredible, but they strayed from their own path and failed. Games such as Rainbow Six Siege, Apex Legends, Call of Duty, Destiny, Assassin's Creed, and Halo. God, I miss Halo. That one really stings. I'm not gonna lie to you. Have you noticed how popcorn buckets are back and are as exciting and creative than ever before? The internet's gonna tell you that's a sign that the economy is doing bad, but I really disagree. Why? Because hard times creates great art, and even Marvel has had to take a step back and readjust from just producing money printing content that people no longer want to creating films that people are genuinely excited for again. Alright, so let's do this one last time. You ever notice how every big franchise has gone through the same tasteless change? You happen to notice that a lot of it is kind of like fashion and it's coming back? I'm really grateful for this return, because it finally feels like content is being made to be consumed rather than just being made to make money. Now, if you need me, I'll be playing a game that has mastered this the most. SpongeBob SquarePants: The Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. Have fun out there and enjoy the second golden age of gaming. This has been Pojeki, your guide through all things nerdy. Let me know what you think. I'm sure I'm missing some crucial elements to all of this. Much love to you guys, and see you all later. And thanks for supporting me on my first video. I hope to make many more. Peace.